Hello everyone, welcome back to Age of Empires 4 commentary. I'm Beyond, and today we have a special matchup for you. Today we have Kiljardi playing as the Byzantines in the deep blue, and then across the way we have in the yellow playing as the Mongols, GL TheViper. Is TheViper coming back? We don't know, but he is playing some Age of Empires 4, so I'm going to be happy to cast whatever he gives us. And it looks like today we have the Mongols. Now, I do believe I was checking out his AoE4 profile. I believe he was actually queuing as random, which is actually pretty cool. So he just came back, decided to give it a go, and whatever fate landed on, fate landed on. So much respect to him on that front. And it's also a great way to learn the game as you're going back. Now, his opponent coming back is Kiljardi, who is a very, very good player, very high-level player. We'll leave links to both these gentlemen in the link in the description below. I'm also live casting this on Twitch. So, unfortunately, the show match that I was supposed to do tonight, actually right now, has been postponed due to one of the players having an illness. So that will actually now be on January 13th. So, if you do want to check that out, I would highly recommend go checking out and following my Twitch. But I will also be uploading the entire show match series here. With that all being said, let's get the quickly out of the way. If you're enjoying this content, please do like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and it helps out the YouTube algorithm a ton as well. Every single like counts, so I really appreciate that. And let me know in the comments below, if you were to bring one person over from any other RTS game, who would it be and why to Age of Empires 4? Let me know. Anyone. It could be anyone. It could be someone from the past, someone from new, whatever it is, any gamer at all. Just let me know who would you like to see play Age of Empires next. Now, the Byzantines, they're in an okay spot right now. They definitely struggle into a lot of matchups, especially with the current kind of meta being heavily focused in feudal aggression. They can start to struggle, of course. They need that olive oil. They need to be left alone a little bit. They need to kind of chill out. So they're not ideal in this situation, and these cisterns are definitely a little bit expensive. So we already have 2 on the map for Kiljardi, and the cataphracts. You would assume they would be the best unit in the game, but they are a little bit slow, a little bit clunky, and a little bit expensive. So you won't be seeing those too often, especially at this level of play. Now, across the way, let's go check out what the Viper is doing. Looks like it's a pretty standard little Uvu going on. We already have a little pasture coming in as well. I think that one's pretty early, so you love to see that coming in. Just on the range of that, and also it's in the range of the influence of the stone, so it makes these sheep just that much faster. So looks like the Viper's going to be playing for a little bit of a longer game, but we haven't seen this in quite some time. Instead of a Grand Winery, we see the old Imperial Hippodrome coming out for Kiljardi, which means we're going to see some early aggression from our friend over here. The Deerstones are to match for the Viper. Going to be getting that passive Yam network going on. Just hanging out, nothing doing too much, just getting the speeds going on. It will come in handy when these horsemen come a-knocking. They're going to be coming quite quickly, honestly. They're going to be trying to collect as much damage as possible. And the Mongols are spread out. They're pretty spread out for a Civ. I will say early on they're pretty condensed, though. So pretty hard to raid the Mongols. But once they run out of food, once they kind of have to start spanning the map a little bit more, they're actually pretty good. And yeah, actually I do agree, people. It would be a good tower rush game on this front, because you can see, look at how far away this gold is. It is in Narnia out here. Would have been a nice little spot to put it up top over here and just rain hellfire down. But unfortunately, we do not see the Viper going for that. We don't see any of those yellow dots walking across. That is just the Khan with the big dot. So nothing doing too much. I will say Kiljardi has a nice little base setup going on over here. No one's missing a beat on those villager productions, and we're just kind of seeing pretty standard play out of both players. The only thing unstandard so far is this Hippodrome, and that's only because it got a little bit of a nerf, a little bit of a tweak in the last patch, so people have been kind of going for that Grand Winery a little bit more. Does not mean it's a bad landmark in the slightest, though, so we'll have to wait and see. And I do see a barracks being dropped down as well, which I'm assuming is going to be the response to the assumed Keshiks that will be matching this Hippodrome placement. And just as I say that, before I even looked over here, there is a stable. So looks like I was correct in that statement. No, it is not correct. It is going to be the horseman. So the horseman will be the response to the hippodrome, which, match cavalry with cavalry, not the worst thing in the entire world. We do see the Vipers being a little bit annoying with this con, just getting a little bit of damage here and there. Just some chip damage, and we'll have to pull these all the way back and send out new villagers. But now with the Hippodrome producing, they can get those early horsemen out, and they'll be able to cash in. But this con is fast, so he will outrun this eventually, but he will get poked down, so he's going to be looking to get out of dodge before he gets out too late. But he will be running into his own horsemen of his own, so to save the day, here they come. 1 and 2 drops the movement speed and is on out. Now we see another horseman coming in over here, and there are the spearmen. So it looks like that Killjardy was anticipating this, and the Viper actually extends a little bit too far with those horsemen and gets a few pokes by the spearmen, which is the worst case scenario for this one. And now the Hippodrome horsemen are on their way, trying to collect any sort of bounty they possibly can. More horsemen coming out, 4 in total for the Viper. So looking to take that cavalry advantage. We also have, it was a Lamity. It wasn't Limitani. It wasn't a spearman. It was the other one. Now we do see a cheeky little tower going up, and it actually gets up just in time. Nothing's actually able to get into the tower, unfortunately. So he does get it up, but nothing's actually able to make it count. And these Lutani are going to be able to stop these from getting in. No, they actually get in just in time, but I don't think it's going to stop Killjardy from taking this down. So try to use the Viper, try to use the kind of stealth force to actually get a little bit of chip damage there and set up a home base up front. But nothing doing there, and more horsemen are coming out for Killjardy. It looks like Viper's going to have to dip. A lot of resources were used on that front, and more horsemen popping out of this Hippodrome. And we have stopped making horsemen on the side of the Viper. We now see Keshiks are the selection. We actually see a outpost going down. Doesn't want these all to be killed off, and actually does have more pastures coming in. So a little bit passive play there, and they are a little bit farther away, so they will be able to be burned down if needed. This Khan pops the movement speed and is fast as lightning trying to get out of there, but almost does go down, is sitting in a very vulnerable position, doesn't want to move that out. But the good news here for the Viper is he does have an outpost. The bad news is that that's a whole lot of horsemen. There they go, they pop in, and these Lutani are trying to get in and trying to poke down these horsemen as quickly as possible. Now there they go. Now we'll have to dip out a little bit. Doesn't want that smoke with 5 villagers in there. So it does get it up just in time. So well played there from the Viper. Viper is currently down by 1 villager, and that is because the other one got poked down from across the way. Killjardy sitting in a very, very good position at the current moment. Has his tower up on his gold as well, so no funny business will be going down on his front. Is also expanding out too. Looks like the berries as well, trying to get as much olive oil as humanly possible. At this point, we can switch off this. If you're still following the build order at this point, I mean, bless your soul, but we gotta make some changes over here. Have to see how everyone's doing. It looks like we're sitting at a 400 per minute to 400 per minute gold food production at this point, and Killjardy has a lot of map pressure with these 7 horsemen. Lutani are so good as well. So Killjardy's putting a good spin on the Byzantines right now, trying to see what he can get. What else we got going down? It looks like we have a mercenary house. So what will be the selection for our friend over here? What is in tow for the Byzantines? If you do enjoy playing a little bit of everything, I would highly recommend the Byzantines. You can get about anything. It's like a box of chocolates over there at the mercenary house. What's going to pop up, what you can buy is always something nice. The Khan has healed back up, and looks like they're going to have to engage these horsemen over here because they're trying to stop them from taking down this villager before they see it. It looks like Killjardy might see it just in time. There we go. They're going to be knocking this one down. They actually might get it just in time. Boom! Gets it. Perfect timing there from Killjardy. Really haven't paid off for these. And the Viper is trying to set up some of these cheeky outposts in these stealth forests, but just not enough. Now, it looks like the mercenary house was the unlocks the Keshix, the Golem, and the Tower Elephant. So it's going to be a fun one. It's going to match Keshix with Keshix. And that will be the olive oil user of choice for this game. The Cistern going back out here. Going to be seeing 2 easy gold veins to get, and we have more and more wall off to get additional deer as well. Now here we go. We're seeing a little more from the up front. We're going to be poked down all the way. Keshix are trying to run away as best they possibly can, but it's not doing anything about it. The Vipers decided to go for a quick castle age, so he goes, you know what? You're annoying me with all this cavalry early on. I don't want to deal with this at all. Let's just go fast castle, and we'll deal from there. Now, step redoubt is a decent one on this front because we have the one over here, nice and easy. And then if you can move it down here and then you have map control, you're hard chilling. Look at all of this gold in the middle of the map. It's absolutely insane. 8,000 a pop down here, and there's 8 of them in total, so 64,000 gold are sitting in the middle of this map, and who will be the one to collect? Now, of course, if you're a Viper fan, you're hoping that these Castle Age Keshix can really stand up to this army. If you are a believer of Kiljardi, or maybe a Byzantine enjoyer yourself, then these Lumtani are probably going to be dealing a lot of damage. And that one outpost is going to be roasted down quite quickly, and it's going to be moving out to other one. It looks like the Viper put up yet another one of the stealth force, which I do like this. It's really great for map control. It's also really great for just scouting purposes, right? How many times have you looked at a replay afterwards and be like, wow, I didn't see that the whole time. I didn't see he was collecting berries from there. I didn't see that raiding party coming in. X, Y, and Z. It gets worse and worse as it goes. So having these just makes it a little bit more vision, and it is very, very positive. Now this is a whole bunch of horsemen, so they're going to want to get out of dodge there quickly, and the whole force is here. So these villagers are as good as dead. It is 2-0 in terms of villager kill. It's about to be 4-0 unless these villagers put on those Nike boots and get out there as quickly as possible. It does not look like that's going to be the case. Just kidding, those were archers. I lied to you. They were not villagers. That count will not be going up because they were just archers. The Viper, remember, is Castle Age, so we'll be getting some Castle Age units quite in there, and there are the first couple of man-at-arms. But into this much army, it doesn't really matter. Yes, they're going to be tanky as all hell, but at this point, they're just going to be diving for days. And there we go. They can poke them all the way down. Keshix will be healing up slowly but surely as well. You can see those little heal bars popping up, burning down everything in their sights. That was the con. And now they're on to production. So it looks like it's going to be the Uvu is going to be the selection, which I do like this switch up because you can't just pick it up and leave. And then on top of that, every single production bonus will be affected because of this positioning. So all these things that the Viper chose to do will now be impacted. Here we go. It looks like the barracks are being picked up. Everything is just getting out of there as quickly as it possibly can. And look at this. You can't actually get a surround on Mongol buildings. It looks like that's what Kiljar is trying to do. He's stopping them from actually getting up and then throwing that little fire sword over there. Another grouping of Keshix on the bottom side of the map. So nothing. The Viper is just getting hit from all sides, and we'll have to move this one eventually as well. There goes the stable. And it looks like actually we'll be going down on this one. So we'll be losing one of these production buildings. There it goes. Boom. Into the mist it goes, and the Golden Horn Tower is the selection for Kiljardi. The pedal is to the metal at the current moment, but the Viper is in Castle Age, so do not count him out. These Golems are able to tank for days, and he's just able to shift his whole operation a little bit farther away. And it looks like the Stepria is he's just kind of picking up. We do have a few just hanging out over here. They actually can't go down. This siege workshop it does actually go down just in time, but I thought it was actually going to be impacted by these. It looks like they're just being, at this point, walls, because that's all it can really do. More armies going down there. A huge engage goes down, and it is a nice one for Kiljardi. Now they are in Castle Age, so everything's kind of leveling up as you go. And these horsemen actually not level up either, but we do see the Cataphracts are the selection. So you know what I said earlier? Forget what I said earlier. Apparently, Kiljar is going to be going against everything that I've said this game that Byzantines struggle with. They struggle with early on aggression. No, they do not, because Kiljardi is one to put on the forefront. I said they struggle, and Cataphracts probably won't be purchased because of how expensive they actually are. And Kiljardi is quickly to correct me on that one, and we have about to have 3 on the field. Now remember, these guys are expensive though. Let's not forget they cost 330 resources. I was going to say what's going on down here. Nothing too crazy. 330 resources. They are beefy. So nothing. I mean, it's gonna be a close one, but let's see what happens here. But 23-7 in terms of army, but the Viper is getting some nice counter here. We do see the Spearman coming out. If he can get a nice critical mass of these, he will be seeing an okay spot. The Mongols also do a decent job, especially the step rate of just collecting as much gold as humanly possible. You can see that the upgrades are coming in quickly for the Viper, and we do have a tower going down for Kiljardi because he wants to push out a little bit. He's getting sick and tired of the Viper, the one dropping the tower, so he wants to have one on his own. And sitting in a very good spot at the current moment, 30-16, and it has a 5 villager lead. Has killed only 2 villagers, but I will say the Viper's done a great job at defending at this point. You would think that it would be a lot worse off. If I try to do this, I'd be dead by now for sure. So this is very, very well played. We can see the +1 ranged attack is coming in for the Viper as well. And he does have some crossbowmen. And this front line of spears is going to be exactly what the doctor ordered. We also see a mangonel in the back for the Viper, which can deal with these Lutani quite easily. And they will be pulling back. Now, that mangonel is staring down 5 Cataphracts. Now, Cataphracts, obviously, they can hit this fun little button, this little trample button, and they can get back on this mangonel quite quickly. So if the right engage pops up, look to see that Kiljardi uses that button to run right past that front line and get in on this mangonel. The mangonel is kind of like out and about a little bit. Might want to move him back a little bit closer. These crossbowmen are going to play a pivotal role as well because it's a very expensive army. So if it goes down, it's going to be very, very bad for Kiljardi. Get some chip damage onto those Cataphracts already, and they're running all the way around. They're trying to get some sort of damage. We do have Spearman popping out. That's a nice one for Kiljardi. That's unfortunate for Kiljardi. Nice one for the Viper. And here they go. It looks like the wall is being set up. The trample is done though. And that is a lot of villagers going down. 2 more in total. I say a lot, I mean 2. Some cheeky play here from the Viper. Might actually pick a Cataphract up. It does have to move them out of the way, which gets even more poke damage from this army. The Viper is now sitting at a 39-33 lead, so playing this extremely, extremely well. And this is what I mean from the Cataphracts. While they are good, they are expensive. So if you don't get insane value out of them, it's a very, very hard pill to swallow and a very, very brutal one to lose if you lose any of those. Now, fortunately or fortunately for as I mentioned, whoever you are cheering for at this current moment, there is a mangonel emplacement over here on this outpost. So finding out the hard way of what AoE damage means in this new world that we're playing in. Look at that damage for a tower. This is just a tower, and it's crushing these archers. Look at this. Another one's going to be a heat seeker. Boom. I mean, this is crazy. This is not worth it all. Get out of here. More and more going down. It's going to get at least 2 more off, and boom, another huge hit. Get out of here, Viper. Don't do this. This is brutal. Look at half of the damage done. This is 1 tower, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on? Get that out of this game. What is that? I don't think Byzantines are overpowered in the slightest, but that tower is going crazy. Any other tower, and that's done in 3 seconds and no damage done. Instead, half the army is half health because of the decisions that have been made in this battlefield. And don't be surprised if this plays a major, major role in the next engagement. We see 12 Keshiks coming out. We see the Bavarian, how do you say these? Bavarian. I can't. No, there's a G in there too. Oh, beyond, I just can't do it. I can't do it. Oh well, we're moving on. We have a lot of guard coming in as well. Cataphracts we have Lumtani, we have everything in the mix. We even have Ghoulems as well. So no expense has been spared on this Kiljardi army. And you can see that the army values are very similar, and that's that Mangonel coming into play. We have more and more crossbowmen coming in here, and we have 31 veteran spearmen, which, remember, 31 veteran spearmen that are also very low because they try to take on a siege emplacement tower. And these Ghoulems are going to eat this front line alive. I mean, yes, we have the crossbowmen, so it will be a good fight, but this is going to be a tough one to deal with. We actually have a little cheeky little trebuchet as well. So we're going to be taking this down from afar because he saw what happened last time. He goes, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's not pretend like that doesn't hurt a lot, and let's move on a little bit from it. We do see that Kiljardi also has a little army over here, so a nice flanking position will be happening if it's possible. To look for in this fight, if they do fight in range of this outpost, it's going to be a major. It doesn't have the Mangonel emplacement, so not too bad. If it's able to go down beforehand, it's going to be very nice. But if they can get flanked onto this Mangonel, then the Viper will be in trouble. So we also see that Keshish is trying to pick off some stragglers in between, but the Viper smartly groups up his spears together, and the Mangonel is abandoned. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not good. Oh no, the Mangonel gets taken down before any shots were fired. A lot of this front line is not able to go down. They are doing a nice curvature on the back end side to make sure that nothing gets onto these crossbowmen. The Lumtani are dealing so much damage. The Ghoulems are double slashing their way through this front line. Now the Keshiks and the Cataphracts are doing so much damage, and now they're on the run, which is not what you want to be against this entire Cav army. And now we also have some cisterns coming out. Siphons. I don't know why I said that. Cisterns are the things that are back there. Don't mind me. I'm saying nonsense. And here's a normal tower. It's going to go down in about 3 seconds, and nothing's going to happen to this army. This is not like the other tower over there. The Viper's actually collecting both the sacred sites, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold those for too very long because this army is looking spooky. 34 guards. We have Ghoulems. We have Lumtani. We have crossbowmen of our own. We have the Siphons. We have Cataphracts. A little bit of everything. We have a box of chocolates of an army. A little bit of everything. You never know what you're going to get. Well, actually, I guess you do know physically what you're going to get if you have the caster mode. But if you're a Viper, you know what's coming your way. You'll see a lot of metal rolling deep towards your new base. And the only thing you have left in between that and that is a little outpost in the Stealth Forest. Looks like these Cataphracts are doing some nice damage up top. That is 8 villagers are now done. There's actually a Keshik involved as well. But that outpost does have that springhold emplacement, so doing some solid damage to these very, very valuable units. But 10 villagers have now gone down, so the Viper is down by 13. And now we have another major engagement. The Siphon is burning away, crispifying this forward tower, and now all this armor is getting past this very, very squishy front line. And yes, we have a bunch of crossbowmen, but no, it is not enough to take down the people running towards them. Actually, some nice cutting here from the Viper. I might have told a small bit of a lie, but we do have now the new kids in the block, aka the new crossbowmen, are peeking their head around. That's also why it's so important to get as much vision as you possibly can. As you can see, they had to poke their head around, which also put them in range. But some nice kiting here from the Viper, dealing so much damage with these crossbowmen. Has 25 in total. 7 more are on the way. You can't get a critical mass of these, and that will be exactly what the doctor ordered into that composition across the way. Siphon is getting some nice damage up front. Can't take that down too easily, and even more villagers are going down up top. The army value is heavily in favor right now of the Byzantines. That's usually the case because of that sweet olive oil. It looks like they decided to let that live, and now we have 2 more Siphons on the bottom side of the map. They're rolling in, and there's nothing really on the map to actually take these down, right? So you have to take these down via torch damage, but there's only crossbowmen on the map at the current moment. So this one cataphracts is trying to get some damage in, but some nice kiting here again, just kiting all the way back, taking down all this armored unit, but there's nothing here to deal with these Seer Siphons, and they're burning the entire Mongol base. The Viper is really struggling with just this constant stream of Seer Siphons, and finally we have some men-at-arms that are trying to bash their way through these things, but it's not going super well, and now there's a Mangonel, which are crossbowmen's worst nightmare. Do need a little bit of something to get onto this Mangonel, maybe a Springhold, anything. We need just something. And now all this kiting is going to be for naught if they can't out-kite that Mangonel. The first shot goes down in the middle. A very nice swing indeed. The Seer Siphons have gone down, trying to do the fancy feet in the backhand side, trying to kill off this massive crossbowman ball. Another Seer Siphon is coming into play, and it's going to be trying to deal some damage onto this Deer Stones. Or it looks like it's going to be going right on the Siege Workshop because it knows that's exactly what's going to be popping out of there is a Springhold. And if a Springhold pops out, it can take down this Mangonel, which is the only thing that can deal with these crossbowmen. Another nice shot across the brow going down there. And there's the Springhold. It does get out just in time. Mangonel's going to dip out quickly. Let's see if the Seer Siphon can actually take this down. Doesn't look like it's going to be the case because the Springhold's going to be out. It's going to be super easy to take this down. Might need a few more actually in the mix to take down anything that comes their way. And boom. Another one's going down, and a nice hold there from the Viper. We're going to have a bunch more of this game left, but you can see the blue armada is racing across the map at the current moment, and they're not going to take any prisoners once they get there. 49-22 in terms of army count. We have another Mangonel entering the battlefield, and it's just going to be kiting. It's going to be constant kiting from these 22 crossbowmen. But now we also have 11 crossbowmen on the other side, some Mangonels, some Ghoulems, some Cataphracts, and some Lutani. Which, I mean, it's... And you can also see the Byzantine player, Kiljardi, is able to just move out across the entire map, making it incredibly easy. You're going to go in from there. This one Springhold is going to play a very important role. And we do see one more ram coming out for Byzantines. Remember, these are kind of expensive. And boom, a nice shot there. Takes down about 4 or 5 already. We have a very flimsy front line. The Springhold goes down, which means there's nothing to take out these Mangonels, which means they're going to be moving forward with force. And they're trying to find some sort of sweet spot, some sort of opening, but they really cannot. They have to keep cutting back. The Viper is taking so much damage. Now there's 3 Mangonels. Actually does get one. A nice little last second kind of plunge there from the men-at-arms, but that's not going to be nearly enough because there's still 2 out on the map. A Springhold does pop out, gets a nice cheeky shot on there, but the Viper was not able to quickly get rid of this. Does take out 1 more, and now the villagers have been pulled. Only the crossbowmen are back here, which should be enough, but it looks like it's going to be turning and burning. 16 villagers have gone down, and another nice shot. The Viper does have 3 relics, so it is sitting in a decent spot if he can hold this, but this is a whole lot of troops. Some fancy feet there in the back. Unfortunately, this tower that has a Springhold emplacement is not focusing down this Mangonel. If it did, it would be the savior of the day, but unfortunately for them, it is not. It's sending seeds into the sides of the heads of these crossbowmen, taking them down one by one. The Khan's in the backhand side, and now the Mangonel is the only thing that's left. And the Viper is actually going to hold yet again. Springhold pops out. This is insane. So well played from the Viper. But now we have the troops that are scrolling across the screen. Now they're finding out satellite bases over here. They're burning and churning away at these Gurs. And another 18 villagers have gone down. The count keeps rising. And the Kiljardi has a 23 villager lead. It is not looking too good at this point for the Viper. But he can come back. He does have 3 relics. He does have a lot of... crossbowman, and he's got some really good micro. So it's never out of the box. It's never gonna. You never say no. You never say it can't happen. There's always a possibility. I will say it's looking less and less likely every time one of these massive offenses kind of goes into here. But I've also said that the past 3 times, and the Viper's held every single time. We did have something attacking something, but that is quickly thwarted by whatever is the case. We can see, though, that more and more olive oil is being produced all over the map. No one's got Imperial Age just yet. That would probably be the game changer if one of them were to ding that way. Let's see, we do have the step readout, but we do not have it being actually collected on at the current moment. Yeah, now we will. So now it will be changing up, and we'll be getting all of that glorious gold. The timer is on though, 8.5 minutes is on the clock. The Viper has to do something, has to push out, has to take down one of these armies. Now we do have, is that a trebuchet? We have a trebuchet going down, because he probably wants to deal with whatever these annoying towers are, if they are popping up. And there are the mangonels. The Viper sees this, but the mangonels swing and miss. The operators were currently drunk at that point, so it does not have a good solution into that. 2 springholds are out on the map. We do have men-at-arms coming in as well. More and more there, and the Viper's own mangonel will be coming in. 3 mangonels are rolling around this map. We have a keep on the middle, and as I mentioned, whoever takes the middle has 64,000 gold at their disposal. Which is not something you want to mess with. The Viper is almost out of gold. We are down to a measly... We are out. We are out of gold. We have nothing left. You must break into the middle, or this is only going to get worse and worse. Where are these lads going to be sent? I think he's just looking around to see if there's anything. Now knows full well this is the only solution. This one over here is already towered up, so nothing else on the map is possible for gold. So the Viper has to go in, and he has to use his last bit of gold wisely. He does have a bunch of relics though, so it's not the worst thing in the world. We have more mangonel shots going in. This is a lot of crossbowmen, so not the worst engage ever. And there goes the mangonels. One mangonel has gone down. We have a springhold in place. Another one goes pop. And they do still get a bunch of shots in though. Now we have a springhold on the other side. Takes out one. There's 1 mangonel left. The springhold is going to try to do its best. If it can get one more shot off, it cannot. And the front line of Kiljardy is just too strong, too powerful. This mangonel is doing little to nothing over here, and it's not protected in at all. And they're pushing in for the final blow. Kiljardy sends blood in the water, and there is the GG's. It is a rough one to come back into. Kiljardy was feeling it that game and mixed it up a lot. Well played there from both players. If you guys did enjoy this commentary, please do like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great night.